Welcome back to Good Life in Jamaica. We're here in Iron Shore, Montego Bay, and this is an update on the Montego Bay Bypass. Break the speed of the water. It's a Czech team, it's a China Harbor engineering team. The rainfall that we just had during the hurricane. And we're finally here. Wow. To drive on the Montego River Bridge. History, another milestone for Good Life in Jamaica. The construction of the Montego Bay Bypass post Hurricane Melissa. Let's have a look and see if the bypass stood up, if there are any damages, significant damages that is. We know when there's rain, previously when they're doing the regular construction, when there is rain, they usually put sandbags to, channel the water away from certain areas. You can see already that the surface here is not as smooth as it was before. But we're heading out on the Montego Bay Bypass to see exactly how it stood up after this hurricane has passed. Again, it's a Category 5 Hurricane Melissa. A lot of damages done to Montego Bay. Montego Bay is still without power, without water, etc. All of those amenities are not there anymore. So we want to see how well this bypass stood up. And already we can see they use stones on the far left there to, break the speed of the water as it comes down on this hill here in Iron Shore, Montego Bay. Again, if this is your first time on the Good Life in Jamaica YouTube channel, do remember to tap that subscribe button and like the video so that you don't miss out on the latest updates on infrastructural developments in Jamaica. And this is one of the biggest ones in Jamaica right now, the Montego Bay Perimeter Road Project. So of course the stones on the far left, did their job, and not much of the mall has been washed away here, even though the surface is a little bit bumpy. The trucks are still able to use this route to move material to the different sections of the bypass. As you can see, the sun is out. You don't have much water now in the soil. All of that moisture is being dried up. On the left, on the far right, you can see they have paved that section. So it's just the section that we're driving on now that's left to be paved. Again, this route will carry you past Salt Spring, past Green Pond, Cornwall Courts, straight past Irwin, straight over into Fairfield. There is also the construction of the Long Hill Bypass that is currently underway as well. We will be doing an update on that to see if work has stalled or if they are continuing with that project. This bypass will again revolutionize transportation in Western Jamaica. Regularly or pre-hurricane, there was a lot of traffic in Montego Bay, and so this is the solution to all of that. It will be 4 lanes, 2 lanes going in both directions. You can see the concrete barrier in the middle there. This is Montego Bay. This hurricane has set Montego Bay back a bit. Normally workmen would be out here you know, doing the final touches, getting ready for the paving. But at least they will be able to see now where the water is going, you know, to see if they need to make any modifications to any drainage systems. So that would be a benefit of the, you know, of the rainfall that we just had during the hurricane. You can see it's dusty as well. So all of that water has dried up now. So Montego Bay basically right now is in recovery mode. Again, head to the comments, let me know how it was, how the hurricane, you know, how was it in your area, especially if you're here in Jamaica. How has it affected your parish? Are you in one of those communities that has been marooned? Like Sign Irwin, Orange. Head to the comments and let me know. Alright, so we're now in the Salt Spring region. This is what it looks like here. Straight ahead, the concrete mixer is there. Workmen are there as well. Seems as though they are laying concrete for a drain there. Yes, it's a drain that they're casting there. And of course, it's a Czech team. It's a China Harbor engineering team that are the implementers here for this project. And the project is overseen by the National Road Operating and Constructing Company, NROC. So they are basically putting in more drains there on the right in this section here in Salt Spring. So we just went under the Salt Spring underpass there. So we are now heading straight on to Green Pond. Here's a concrete paver here. There's an asphalt paver there on the right. Listen me, man, I don't want this work to be stalled. I want this work to, you know, to meet the deadline of May 2026. That's the projected deadline. So again, this section will be 2 lanes going in both directions. Montego Bay being the tourism capital, it's very imperative that, you know, things get back to normal, especially for business operators as well. You know, this is bad for business. A lot of them have loans, etc. Business loans that there's a lot of obligations that persons have to meet here. So it's very important that work continues, that Montego Bay is restored to normal. So the drains have been doing their job. It's just some work they will have to do to, you know, to smooth out back the area. To probably lay another layer of marl before they lay the asphaltic concrete. Again, do remember to tap that subscribe button and like the video. Head to the comments. Let's have a discussion about the impact of this hurricane. This one is bigger than Hurricane Gilbert, you know, in terms of its impact on Montego Bay. This you have to put hands and heart together in Montego Bay to get it back up and running like normal. This is another slope here. It's not as steep as the Edward Seaga Highway, as the slopes on the Edward Seaga Highway, but a slope nonetheless, especially when you're heading in the other direction. These are some of the slopes that we'll have to deal with when this bypass is completed. Alright, so we can see that the hurricane did removed a lot of the marl in this section. This section is very steep right here in Green Pond. We're just outside the Green Pond High School. Let me see if I can show you a little bit better on this side. So we are in Green Pond, just outside Cornwall Courts here. That's the Green Pond High School we're looking at. See, they're casting a drain right there. Laying the concrete. All right, let's proceed. Look at it, man. The mountainside is just brown after this. The hurricane winds just damaged most of the trees. You know, wow, man. Like, all the signs are there that show you the extent of damage done to Montego Bay and the nearby parishes. Trelawney got it to St. Anne as well. Just look at the hillside, man. It looks like Montego Bay has been through a drought. But it's the hurricane damage. I've never seen anything like this. It looks like a wilderness. But again, the Montego Bay Bypass has stood up to this hurricane. You can see more marl there on the left that they've used to break the force of the water. And what they did, they create a L shape in the marl that will now channel the water straight over the side there on the far left. Lovely. Alright, so we're heading now closer and closer towards the Montego River Bridge. That's the bridge that they're building here. Jamaica's longest and tallest bridge. This section is smooth. Yeah, man, it was rough the last time we've been here. So, a lot of work has been done on this section here to keep the water from damaging the surface. And kudos again, big up to the Czech team, China Harbour Engineering team, for the work that they're doing in Jamaica to build up our infrastructure. Let us not wait on just the government to help us, to help move, you know, the debris and all of that debris from the hurricane damage. Let us put hands and hearts together as communities, get things going. We're calling on the community groups, neighborhood watch, etc., you know, to organize amongst themselves to get their communities up and going, whatever way that they can. If it's just by just heaping up the rubbish in certain sections so that movement along our roadway can be made easier, that has to be done. As a small island, we have been through a lot. You know, we might not have the resources. We are getting overseas help, but we have to do our part in speeding up the recovery process. There's the bridge way over there. Again, we're close to one of the communities that has been marooned. We don't know how far we will go. We can go on the nearby St. Irwin main road. We'll have to ask questions along the way. The general, we can't drive go away. We can't drive go away. The road say which part black? Which part they say black? I further up.
Yeah, go straight across the bridge and follow the rest of the vehicle in there.
Oh, pardon, that's so black off.
Yeah.
Oh, ah. So we just learned that a section of the road has been blocked. Alright, we don't know how far we can go, but we're going to go on the main road just to show you what it's like there. A lot of persons have been asking me about Irwin, what's going on. A lot of persons have even been asking for this video an update on the Montego Bay Bypass. What's going on post Hurricane Melissa? Well, this is the video you've been waiting for. And here we are now approaching the Montego Bay Perimeter Road Bridge, or the what's called the Montego River Bridge. This is our first drive on the Montego River Bridge. Very first drive. Let's go. Here we go, guys. Wow, history, another milestone for good life in Jamaica. Here we go. Wow, and there's more than enough space on this bridge. Look at it, guys, for two vehicles on both sides. We did it. Yes, we did it, guys. Our very first drive on the Montego River Bridge. Tap that subscribe button. Again, it's because of your support why we have been able to provide updates like these. So the Irving Main Road has been blocked at some sections. So we're going to continue. We're not going on the Irving Main Road. We're going to continue straight on into the Fairfield section of this, the Montego Bay Perimeter Road. Look at it. This section, we always wanted to pass through this section, and we're finally here. Wow. Just wow. Let me know what these structures, concrete structures here, are called. I know they use them on the bridge, etc. Just let me know in the comments. Persons who are in the engineering field or construction field, let me know what those structures, concrete structures, are called. This is the area where they do all the steel work, and they have allowed persons to pass through since the road has been cut off in certain areas. If we continued straight ahead on the left, that would have carried us straight past the Irving High School and Primary School in that vicinity and back into Irving Meadows. But we're going to continue on this right, to the right here, continue straight on to Fairfield. This is what the Montego Bay Bypass looks like post Hurricane Melissa, just a few days after the hurricane has passed. All right, let's go. Nice. So they have allowed, even though the bypass isn't finished, they have allowed persons to, to pass through some of the areas, because they know that some of the communities are indeed cut off. So they have just, modified, put in certain things so that persons can pass through a little easier. And we're happy for that again. Thanks to the NROC team and the Czech team for the work that they're doing here in Montego Bay. Another overpass will be built here in Irving. Nice. So this is the video you've been asking for since the hurricane hit Montego Bay. Everybody has been asking me what's happening to the Montego Bay bypass. Is work continuing? Is it damaged more? What is happening? So we are pleased to say that work has continued. Work is continuing, and all efforts are being made to meet the May 2026 deadline. Again, this is another milestone for the good life in Jamaica. Again, we just did our first drive on the Montego River Bridge, the famous 180 meter long bridge. Always wanting to do that. We've walked on it before. We've seen some other work vehicles using it, but we've never, it's the first time that we're on it. Whoa. The surface is a bit bumpy here. We're taking our time. And this will now carry us straight into Fairfield. Remember, the Montego Bay Bypass will start in Ironshore and end in Bogue. Just at the back gate there of Montego West Village, that community, that gated community. So again, person, I've been asking, how is it that you're going to have 4 lanes on top of the bridge? We just showed you that it is indeed wide. When you're walking on it, you know, it doesn't seem that wide, but when you're driving, you realize that there is ample space for 4 lanes on top of that bridge. We're just happy that we could achieve this. A goat there in the shade chewing his cud. Smooth surface on this section. So we could say minimal damage to the road surface due to the rains from the hurricane. Montego Bay will overcome and will continue to be the tourism capital of Jamaica. The sun is very hot on the outside. Wonder if we'll be having some rains a little later today. They're building some building of the sort on the left. Probably has to do with the toll authority. Again, this will be a toll road. The Long Hill Bypass will also be a toll road. There's also plans to construct another toll road from Montego Bay Street, just on the outside there in St. James. Again, the call is to rename this Montego Bay Bypass the Andrew Holness Highway. A lot of talk have been made on that renaming. See a lot of the workmen on this section here putting in the concrete for the drains. Montego Bay must overcome, shall overcome, will overcome. Wow, it has been a rough couple of days post Hurricane Melissa. We have to go out of town for gas. We have to catch water, you know, at different springs, etc. There's no water in the pipes, there's no power, there's no internet, there's not even radio, regular radio service or reception. Since recently we started picking up 2 other radio stations. The internet signal, we have to travel to another section of the community to get internet. And it's very weak and very slow. Alright, let's exit from this section here. And of course we're still in the Fairfield. You might hear me saying Fairview, but it's really Fairfield. This is where we are right now. Good to go. Let's proceed. And we're heading now onto the Fairfield main road. We're going to be traveling under the Fairfield overpass there. The new Fairfield overpass. Let's see how it stood up to the hurricane as well. Let's go. So that's a Fairfield overpass, and let me show you this new section here that can carry you right. So this is it that will carry you back onto the bypass. We're going under the overpass there, just showing you this section right here. So this is what it looks like from Fairfield to head straight over into Irwin when you're on the Montego Bay Bypass. Alright? Alright, so let's head back now so I can show you what traveling under the Fairfield overpass is like. There's a water truck entering this section here. Alright, let's wait our turn. Safe to go. Yup, looks that way. Alright, so this is the journey now under the Fairfield overpass here. Tractors on the road as well. Wow, biker boys at it. Alright, so we're on the Fairfield main road and this will carry us back to Fairview, to West Green, etc. So it's no longer Vista Print that's on the left there. It's what, Active Home Center. Yes. Alright, so we have successfully showed you what the Montego Bay Bypass looks like post Hurricane Melissa. I know there'll be a lot of traffic in Westgate because a lot of persons are lined up there at the gas station. I don't want to go that section. I don't want to travel that section. So this is what the traffic looks like here. Whoa. All of this traffic here. I want to go on Barnett Street, but I'm not gonna travel via Westgate. We're going right around. There's a lot of traffic there. A lot of persons. Again, the fuel issue. There is indeed a fuel problem in Montego Bay. We hope the government can move to rectifying that, you know, this post-hurricane problem that we're having. This is another four-way section here that we have to be careful when navigating. You know, there's the stoplight is down. Look at this one dangling right here. Very dangerous. And we have made it. Have us? Have we? Yes, we've just barely squeezed through. It's very dangerous traveling right now in Montego Bay, I'm telling you. Alright, so the JPS, they are here working. See, they're doing their talk before they head out to work. They are indeed working on both the left and the right to get the light posts up again and to rewire the areas. Again, the government, the Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness, is calling that power lines, they sink the power lines or put the power lines underground in some sections, wherever they find it feasible, wherever the JPS find it feasible to do so, because we can't keep having this every time there's a disaster, you know, the power lines going down, you know, electricity is out for weeks. That's very bad, you know, for business, residents, you know, really puts us in a spot. So we're glad for that call. We hope the JPS can act on it and getting those power lines underground. We know they already plan to do that on the hip strip. That was the plan for the hip strip. I hope they'll extend it to other areas. The JPS has the Jamaica Public Service, that's Jamaica's power company. They have a task on their hands. They indeed have a task on their hands. They are working day and night now to get Montego Bay up and running and to have power. We're going to cross another intersection here. Very dangerous. No stoplights. Impatient persons. But we have to brave it and pray. So again, you successfully saw an update on the Montego Bay Perimeter Road. I've shown you what the conditions here are on the road. Ensure that you subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing more updates, so ensure that you're subscribed. Stay tuned. Head to the comments. Let's have a discussion. What are your views on what's the current state of Montego Bay? Let me know in the comment section. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.